Is there a fight that's more overrated than Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway? I don't think there is. It's probably the most overrated fight that I've ever seen in my entire life. The fact that everyone's like, oh, well, fight of the year's coming around, so you gotta give it to Justin Gaethje and Holloway. No. First of all, I don't think it's a top 10 fight this year, for starters. And second of all, for the most part, it was like a jabbing session by Max Holloway from a distance. He was like landing some strikes here and there, but for the most part, he was kind of just like toying with Justin Gaethje from a distance after breaking his nose in the first round, and that was the excitement of the fight. Most of me and my friends were just sitting there watching and thinking, oh god, this is kind of boring. I can't believe this fight over-delivered. Until the ending in the 5th round, where we all lost our voices because we were screaming so loudly. Anyway, let's listen to the Dana White glaze fest for this fight. This is where it all began. Just Dana White just sucks off this fight straight in the middle of everybody in the press conference.
And fucking Holloway is walking. Holloway is walking. Nobody?
Nobody. Can you believe it? He's not walking right now. Those leg kicks. And everyone's just like, was he not meant to be walking? Like, dude, come on. We've seen Justin Gaethje fight a bunch of times. We've seen Max Holloway take leg kicks by Volkanovski before. We've seen multiple of them. I get it. You want to hype it up like, oh, Justin Gaethje's leg kicks are different. But are they really? Like, who has he hobbled really with his leg kicks? I say this, I'm probably forgetting someone, but has he actually, like, straight up made it so someone can't walk again after throwing some of his massive leg kicks? Can you remember? I can't, but anyway.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those leg kicks were insane.
There isn't anything big enough on the fucking table here to show you how the thing coming out of the side of his leg was 3D, you know? And he's walking, and when you think about when we were sitting in that room and we created the BMF, we came up with the...
Oh no, his leg's bruised.
Tonight, totally embodied what that belt was built for. And there should be a picture of that fight in the fucking dictionary when you look up BMF.
So there should be a picture of a fight where, for the most part, one guy dominated most of it. Don't get me wrong, he broke Justin Gaethje's nose in the first round, so I guess that's kind of BMF. But from an excitement standpoint, jabbing from a distance, you know, getting your range under control. A couple of strikes here, a couple of strikes there, backing off. Quickly get my guard up. Okay, we break up now. No crazy combinations. No, like, insane moments, like someone gets dropped and then... Oh, I guess Max Holloway did kind of get dropped. So that was kind of like a crazy moment, I guess. Ooh, BMF. This is the fight that exemplifies that. Shut up, Dana. Just the glaze, like the aura, like, you know, like sometimes you hear about fights that you've never seen before and you're like, oh yeah, well obviously, Gustafsson Jones was a massive war. Which it was. It was way better than this fight, by the way. Like, a million times better. But you're thinking, oh my god, yeah, it must have been so dramatic. And you watch it, it's like... They're spinning, they're doing stuff, they're taking a lot of damage. But then for the most part, it's like, oh, well, you know, didn't really think the fight was going to end at any point. And how dramatic was it really? You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, that's not the best way to say it. But, like, isn't it about moments? Is that why we watch fights about moments? And other than the last moment of the fight, what happened? Nothing. At no point was I like, oh my god, this fight could go either way. Justin Gaethje might have it. Nope. It was Max Holloway piecing him up after breaking his nose.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I was going to ask you...
And I don't know if you noticed this, and if it happened to you guys too, but that fight sucked the fucking life out of everybody tonight.
I was...
Not because of the reasons you might be thinking. It's because the ending where Justin Gaethje got KO'd flat out by Max Holloway after he pointed to the middle of the cage with 10 seconds left, despite winning the entire fight, and catching Gaethje with a massive right hand. That's why everyone lost their mind. That's why I lost my mind. I remember me and my friends watching it and been thinking, this fight's just under-delivering. I'm on this for the BMF belt. Like, at least fight like BMF's here. That's what we were saying. Not sure about you guys. And then the moment happened, they're like, oh, well, all is forgiven.
Like, everybody was... The next two fights, everybody's just sitting there, like, dead. Like, it was like...
Not gonna mention the fact that the next fight was a women's fight. Might have had something to do with it, but it wasn't just the Gaethje. The night was building up to that, right? Like, there were so many great fights throughout the entire card. Once you had that insane, crazy moment that we were waiting for, it wasn't just because of that fight happening specifically. It was because of the accumulation of every single fight on that night that led up to that moment. I'm making sense here, right? Like, surely I don't get disliked on this video just because of not liking everyone's favorite fight of the year, which is completely overrated. And you are a casual and a Dana White glazer and a nutsucker of Dana White, if you think otherwise. That's the stance I'm standing on.
This adrenaline dump, it was incredible. It's like, people always ask me what I do. I sell holy shit moments for a living, right? That was the ultimate holy shit moment of all time. If you were at home, if you're in a bar, or if you were here live tonight, there's no bigger holy shit than that.
I'll give him that one for sure. It's definitely the moment of the year. By far the most cool, badass moment this year was Max Holloway doing the finger point and then KOing him. 100%. 100%. But take away the names Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. Like imagine two preliminary guys do it. Is it that spectacular in hindsight? Like it's definitely less spectacular than Yair Rodriguez KOing Korean Zombie if you're just looking at two bodies doing things in the cage. Remove the context, just see it as a fight. It's definitely less spectacular than that one. It's definitely less spectacular than Masvidal's. Oh, that's a given. The Masvidal's flying knee is way more spectacular than that shit. Just look at them as bodies. Shara Magomedov spinning double back fist KO is definitely more spectacular as well. Just something to think about.
Absolutely.
And that's why, let's just talk about this fight for the rest of the press conference.
100%.
Yeah, because it definitely warrants it.
So that's why Max Holloway is beloved. And Gaethje. Max, how many times have you seen a fight where the guy wins, you know he's winning, they click the 10-second thing and the guy puts his hands up and they just run around, move around? He's got the fight won, and he's in there with one of the most dangerous fucking fighters in the business, right? And he says, let's do this. And they both fucking oblige, and they go in and just start. 1 second left, and a knockout like that. That's like movie shit.
It's one of the greatest moments in your...
I mean, I can't deny that so far. Everything you said is spitting facts. Max Holloway is loved. Got stuff like that. So with Gaethje, I agree. As a moment, it's definitely the moment of the year. But as a fight, it ain't top 10, respectfully.
UFC history.
It's the fight of the year. If something beats that fight of the year, holy shit. I don't want to see the two guys that are involved in that fight at the end of the fight.
Justin Gaethje. No, sorry. Dustin Poirier. Islam Makhachev. They were pretty beat up, right? Bruised. Could either of them walk? Dustin Poirier actually went out as well. What was so crazy about this fight again? Like, Dana White's acting like this fight was just this war. Like, it's taken years off their life. Their bones will never heal. Their muscles will never be able to, like, recover again. What? One moment at the end of the fight where Justin Gaethje goes to sleep. And we're talking about it like, oh, it's this crazy war. You had to be there to see it. Being there live. And this is why you should be at a live UFC event. Just promotional garbage. I get it. He put a lot of money into UFC 300. He probably thought, oh, okay, we need, like, something... Like, we need something to be remembered. Okay, let's glaze the shit out of this fight. In all honesty, why isn't anyone talking about Islam versus Poirier? By far the fight of the year. The most dramatic fight this year. And the story was way better. Let's be honest here for a second. The stakes were way higher as well.
I love it. Well, you know, you talked about the BMF title, right? In the beginning, it was one and done, and, you know, people always did a gimmick or whatever. But like you said, what we saw out there tonight was insane. Does this change your perception of the
I never
BMF
said it was
title?
a gimmick. I fucking did it.
Right.
I didn't say it was a gimmick. I don't give a shit what anybody else says.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Tonight, that's what the fucking BMF is all about. And I'm glad we did that belt, and yeah.
So, Matt...
This is how you know a fight's overrated. Take away the last 10 seconds. Does Dana White even mention it? Does it even win fight of the night? Let alone fight of the year? Does it? Probably not, right? For the most part, it'd be like, oh, well, it was a dominant one-sided way. It was less good. It was less fun to watch, by far, by the way, because Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar was just one of the most brutal beatdowns you've ever seen in your entire life. This was kind of just like, he's winning every round, and he's clearly winning every round, but it's not really a beatdown, you know what I mean? He wasn't like, count it up, count it up. He wasn't looking at Daniel Cormier being like, count it up now, boo, boo, wow. I'm the big boxer. He wasn't doing that in this fight, for the most part. Let's be honest here. This ain't no fight of the year. It's the moment of the year. The last 10 seconds save it from just being a fight that happened in UFC 300.
Max is calling
It's
for, like,
here to stay.
a featherweight title, a lightweight title. You'd probably take them both in the same night. I mean, what do you do with Max Holloway now? The guy is just an unbelievable star.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll put something good together for him. And I agree with you. He was a star coming in here, and he took himself to an entirely different level.
That's true. I don't think there's anything else that I need to be added here. Basically, the general consensus of this video is Dana White glazing him, and I just wanted to react to something. There's no content really, so I was just like, okay, well, this is the fight that I've held this opinion about for the entire year. The year's over. let's get a video out of it. And in all honesty, it is still the most overrated fight of the year. Honestly, the most overrated fight that I've ever seen. I've never seen a fight of the year get the amount of praise that this fight, like, the fact that this might be the fight of the year to most people's minds and eyes is insane to me. No other fight of the year in history has been this mid, if you know what I mean. Islam Poirier is clearly the fight of the year. Far more dramatic for this fight. Honestly, Max Holloway just beat him up for 4 rounds and in the 5th round caught him. I think, actually, he lost one of the rounds. I had it 3-1 going to the 5th, then Max KO Justin Gaethje, and then that's it. Yeah. Not even really back and forth. Not even like, oh, well, it's not the most exciting, but like, it's 2-2 can go either way. Let's see what happens. It was just like, oh, well, Max is winning. Just survive and you win the fight. And then for the most part, let's be honest here, stayed from a distance, just jab, jab. It wasn't like a crazy fight like Ilya versus Max, which was actually kind of crazy, to be honest. If you rewatch it, that was actually high paced. Like, you're like, oh my god, anything can happen right now. This was just like, well, they're kind of they're throwing punches and then one gets KO'd. That's me just describing fighting, I guess. But anyway, like and subscribe. This was the video for today. 176 subscribers. I want to get to 200. If you guys can help me and subscribe. And if you agree with me, comment below and like the video. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.